Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Anyway, dear children, you will have to wait a little more for your assessment day because as I said, I'm doing it in turns. Huh? Darshan, mute your audio. I'm doing it in turns. So I have just started with class 8 and 7. So you will have to wait for a couple of weeks more for your assessment day.
You are not taking reading test?
Reading test, no?
Like soft skill French also they are taking class tests. No.
Soft skills, yes, of course, soft skills we will have test, but reading test is not meant for us. I have to conduct
test for accent.
Yes, that's what I said. You were not present in the last class.
Yes, ma'am, I was present.
Yes, I discussed about the assessment. That's what I was telling. Right now, I was talking about that assessment only.
Okay, ma'am.
Because I have started with 8th standard and 7th standard. So I'll be doing it in turns, or else everyone together will be sending the audio clip to me. Then it will create a lot of confusion. So one by one, I'll conduct the test. So you'll have to wait for a couple of weeks again. Krishnesh is not in our class, right? He's in 5D.
No, ma'am.
Okay.
He's not in
Fine.
your class.
Now, as you all are confident in reading, right? If I ask you, like if I tell you, if I give you a story or a passage or a speech, will you be able to do it properly? Yes, applying all the rules and guidelines that you have been learning in the soft skill classes till now. Will you be able to do it?
Ma'am, not soft skill, it is accent.
Accent training. Okay, I'm sorry. That was slip of the tongue. Because I'm teaching both soft skill and accent training. So sometimes it happens. Like it's called slip of the tongue. You tend to say accent training, but the word soft skill comes to your mouth. Okay, so I'm sorry about it. Whatever we have been learning in the accent training, will you be able to apply them and read a given article, whatever it may be? Yes, of course, you should be able to do it. If you are able to do it, then I would definitely say that the accent training classes have been beneficial for you. You have imbibed a lot from these classes and you are able to improve your language through it. Otherwise, what I will say is, it's not my mistake. It's not that I hadn't given you the guidelines. I haven't tried to guide you properly. It's just because you were not ready to follow it. You were not ready to follow it. So your language remains the same. No difference. So such students will be reading exactly the same way how they have been reading so far. Others will try to bring in a noticeable difference in the way you read. The style of reading will change. You will apply all the tips that you have learned so far. Okay, so that is what we are going to try. And I said, till you have your assessment, you need to practice. As much as possible. Take your textbook, take your science textbook, practice reading. Take your social studies textbook, take your literature textbook, take your even mathematics textbook. There are a lot of word problems, right? You can read it in the right accent. Yes, Eva?
When I read, I'll try it.
Very good. That's it. See, those who are sincerely putting effort like that, I'm really happy for them because they are the ones who is really going to change their accent. And definitely it will help them in their future. That is 100% sure. So you're not doing all this for the teacher. You're doing this for yourselves. You should be aware of it. So I'm here to guide you, give you the necessary instructions. Following and practicing is up to you. That is up to you. So if your language has improved, that means that you have been listening properly in the class, you have been imbibing the points correctly, and you are practicing it. And don't try to be don't hesitate in using that language, changed accent. Be proud to use that. Because now you will be using an accent which doesn't have any influence of your native language. Because I have given you all the guidelines, all the tips related to that. Okay, so let us try reading this. This is a story. Okay, and story, you know that a story should be narrated. So there should be feelings. You should express it. You should not read a story just like you read a passage. A passage is a description, whereas a story is a narration where you will see a lot of punctuation marks, questions, dialogues. So accordingly, as I told, your accent assessment will be done based on 3 points. One is pronunciation. The second one is your intonation. And I told you what is intonation. Intonation is the rising and falling tone in your reading. Okay, and the third one is your clarity in reading. And based on these 3 factors, your accent will be assessed. You will be getting grades accordingly. Okay, so let's start practicing this story. Yes, Eva, start. I will just make you read 1 or 2 sentences, okay? So others, please pay attention. After 1 or 2 sentences, I will ask the person to stop. The next person has to continue after that. Yes, Eva.
One day, a farmer was looking for a water source for his farm. When he bought a well from his neighbor, the neighbor, however, was cunning.
Okay, very good. Good. Okay, so one thing I would like to tell you, Eva, is that R sound, don't roll your tongue too much because that R will sound like an American accent. Okay, so for example, you pronounce the word neighbor like neighbor, right? Neighbor.
Neighbor.
How is that word produced? When you roll your tongue, right? Am I right? Yes. But in British accent, I have told you there are 2 places where the letter R goes silent. One is at the end of a word. So look at the word neighbor. R is at the end of the word. So you have to pronounce the word as neighbor. It's neighbor. R is silent. And when you pronounce a normal R, for example, draw. So it's like draw as draw. Just a simple R, as if like you just make your tongue float and bend a little. Just a slight bending, not rolling. So initially when I gave you the tip, I had told you to roll your tongue. So I'm so sorry, that's not right. You need not roll your tongue. You just bend your tongue a little bit, but not touch up and say R. So it's neighbor. Okay, it's neighbor. Neighbor, however, again, neighbor, however, just a moment. However, again, that R is silent there because it is the end of the word. So, however, was cunning. And all the other pronunciation was perfectly all right. She took care of the plosives like cunning, water. Huh? All this was pronounced correctly. Who is talking in between? Who called in between?
Ma'am, John Daniel is present.
Okay, John Daniel is present. Adidev, continue. The next day.
The next day, as the farmer came to draw water from his well, the neighbor refused to let him take any water.
Okay, fine. Enough. Very good. And Adidev also sounds more like he uses more like an American accent because water, huh? It is an American accent, Adidev. It's okay if you're comfortable with that.
Ma'am, most of the time I will speak only American accent.
Okay, if you are comfortable using that accent, okay, fine. Anyway, there is no like native language slang in that, well and fine, because Americans pronounce that word as water, whereas Britishers pronounce it as water. See, look at the difference. Water with rounding the lips, wo, and then plosive ta, and at the end of the word R is silent. That is water and water, right? How do you pronounce the water, Adidev?
Water.
Water, right. And British accent is water. Right? R is silent. It's okay, fine. Okay, then the rest of all the pronunciation was perfectly all right. Sapna, can you please continue? When the farmer asked. Yes.
Ma'am.
Do you know where did he stop?
Yes, ma'am.
The neighbor refused to let him take any water. Then,
When the farmer asked why, the neighbor replied, Ma'am, I'm not able to see the board.
yes.
Ma'am, can you share the screen again? I'm not able to see.
You're not able to see it? Just a moment. I'll share the screen once again. Now check Sapna. Is it visible now? If the network is,
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am.
is it okay?
Yes.
Huh.
The
Continue.
neighbor replied, I sold you the well, not the water, and walked away. Distraught, the farmer went to the emperor to ask for justice.
Perfect. Thank
He
you, Sapna.
explained-
Enough. That was perfect. Huh? The accent was perfect. And here, one correction I would like to point is, distraught, the farmer went to the emperor or the emperor.
The emperor.
The emperor, yes, because these are very rare, but you have to take care, because as soon as you see a vowel sound following THE, remember to pronounce the THE as the. Okay, otherwise everything was like perfectly read, and even the way she read, walked away. That was beautiful, Sapna. So congratulations and keep it up. Yes, Amil, can you please continue after that? He explained, after that, he explained what had happened, and after that, the emperor
called on Birbal, one of his 9, and
wisest courtiers.
courtiers. Birbal produced to
No,
question the
proceeded.
neighbor.
It's proceeded.
Proceeded to question the neighbor. Why don't you let the farmer take water from the well?
You did?
You did sell the well
To
to the farmer.
the farmer. Very good, Amil. See, even in the word farmer, both the R's are silent. Why? In the word farmer, both the R's are silent. Shreya, can you tell what's the reason? Both the R's are silent in farmer. Or Abel. Can Abel tell me what's the reason? Huh.
Before the both are there is a vowel.
Before both R is a vowel. No, it's not because of that. It's definitely not because of that. I'll tell you. This is something that you have to really take care. Look at this word. F-A-R-M-E-R. Okay. One place where the letter R goes silent is when it comes at the end of a word. Okay. So the last R is silent. Agreed? Yes. Now the second R. That means the R that comes after A. This also goes silent. Do you know why? Because a consonant letter comes after the letter R. So the two places where the letter R goes silent is, one, when it comes at the end of a word. Whenever a letter R comes at the end of a word, it is silent as per British accent. And when a consonant sound comes after the letter R, it is silent. So here, after letter R, M comes. For example, see, look at this word, H-A-R-D, W-O-R-K. In all these cases, the letter R goes silent because of the consonant letters that follow it. Okay?
Ma'am,
Huh.
ma'am, I was about to say both having after consonant, but I was confused because in the end R doesn't have any other
Yeah.
word after it, letter
Yes,
after
yes,
it.
yes, yes, yes.
I was thinking of it might be consonant after,
Huh.
but I got confused with the last one.
Okay. Now is it clear? Did you understand what are the two places where letter R goes silent, Shreya?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
Yes, yes, yes.
Henry. Can I read Henry?
Just a moment, Henry. Shreya, read the second paragraph.
The neighbor replied, Birbal, I did sell the well to the farmer, but not the water within it. He has no right to draw water from the well.
Okay.
Birbal said.
Enough. Shreya, you have to be a little more careful regarding the words, especially when the words start with W. Just make sure that you are rounding your lips properly, like water within it. And also the plosive should be taken care a little more. Okay, otherwise it's all good. Yes, Henry, Birbal said.
Okay, ma'am. Birbal said, look, since you scolded the well.
Wait. Sold the well.
Sold the well.
Yes.
You have no right to keep the water in the farmer's well. Either you pay rent to the farmer or take it out immediately.
Immediately. Again, look at the word immediately. You can see two M's. Remember the doubling of the consonants. When you see, enough. When you see the doubling of consonant, it is just taken as one. You need not pronounce the word as immediately. Okay, no need of stressing on that M. You have to just pronounce the word softly, immediately. Okay, immediately. Yes, immediately. Okay. Adinath, continue. Realizing.
Okay. Realizing that his scheme had
Scheme. No. The word is scheme. Scheme means plan. Scheme
had failed. The neighbor apologized and went home. The moral cheating will not get you anything. If you cheat, you will pay soon
enough. Okay, good. Okay, Abel, can you read from the beginning?
One day, a farmer was looking for a water source for his farm. When he brought a well from his neighbor, the neighbor, however, was cunning.
Okay, good. Enough. Isra, continue. The next day,
as the farmer came to draw water from his well, the neighbor refused to let him take any water.
Okay, very good. Dia, continue. When the farmer asked why,
the neighbor replied, I sold you the well, not the water. And walked away.
Okay, enough. Anvia, continue. Distraught.
The farmer went to the emperor.
The emperor or the emperor, Anvia? The emperor, yes.
To ask for justice.
Voice is breaking. Continue. He explained.
What had happened?
Okay, enough. Joseph Nihal. Next, the emperor.
The emperor called Bilbal, one of his 9 and wisest courtiers.
Courtiers. See, it starts with the ka. Courtiers.
Bilbal
Proceeded. Joseph, it's proceeded.
The neighbors, why didn't you let the farmer take the water from the well?
Well, very good. You did?
You did sell the well to the farmer.
Very good, very good, very good. Joseph, you read very well. Great, congratulations. Yes, Jeswin.
Why did you
The second paragraph, The neighbor replied.
The neighbor replied.
Birbal.
I did sell the well to the farmer, but not the water within it. He
Has
no right to draw the well
draw water
for water
from the well. Okay, good. Yes, Shiva, continue. Birbal said.
Okay, ma'am. Birbal said, look, since you sold the water to the well.
Sold the well. Look at the words properly and read. Since you sold the well.
Since you sold the well, you have no right to keep the water in the farmer's well. Either you pay rent to the farmer or take it out immediately.
Immediately. The accent has not come. Okay, you're just simply reading it. I could not see any difference in your accent. Gauri Nandana, realizing that. Gauri Nandana, unmute. I have not muted you from here. Let's try. I have not muted you. Without unmuting, you're calling me. I'm not able to hear. John Daniel, unmute. Yes. Realizing that, the last fourth line, realizing that his scheme had failed. Got it?
Realizing that his scheme had failed, the neighbor apologized and went home.
The moral. Not chatting, it's cheating.
Cheating will not get
you anything. If you cheat, you will pay soon enough. Enough. Okay. John Daniel can really improve if you practice. See, whatever words he's telling, the accent is right. Only thing he's not able to read the words. So don't worry, John. You have to make sure that you practice it. Then once you practice, it will be like you will be able to read it fluently. Now I made you read 2 times. Now let us listen to the, okay, sorry. Let us see how the native speakers sound. Share sound. Natural ink. Okay, fine.
One day, a farmer was looking for a water source for his farm when he bought a well from his neighbor. The neighbor, however, was cunning. The next day, as the farmer came to draw water from his well, the neighbor refused to let him take any water. When the farmer asked why, the neighbor replied, "I sold you the well, not the water," and walked away. Distraught, the farmer went to the emperor to ask for justice. He explained what had happened. The emperor called on Birbal, one of his 9 and wisest courtiers. Birbal proceeded to question the neighbor, "Why don't you let the farmer take water from the well? You did sell the well to the farmer." The neighbor replied, "Birbal, I did sell the well to the farmer but not the water within it. He has no right to draw water from the well." Birbal said, "Look, Since you sold the well, you have no right to keep the water in the farmer's well. Either you pay rent to the farmer, or take it out immediately. Realizing that his scheme had failed, the neighbor apologized and went home. The moral: cheating will not get you anything. If you cheat, you'll pay soon enough.
Okay, so how's that? In the audio, because the dentist said, okay, Shiva, it's okay. Only thing, you just imbibe whatever you have learned, and then once I can understand. If you put the braces, there won't be clarity in your speech. So even for the assessment, I will consider that fact when I put the grades. Don't worry about it, okay? Just put me a message regarding that, because even when I used to put the braces, I was not able to speak properly. The clarity of the speech will not be correct. Okay, fine. Now listen. You all heard the audio, and the audio is by the native speaker. It is purely British accent. So don't you think that whatever we have discussed in the class is applicable? Did you notice that? The plosives, even the and the, did you? Yes. So
Yes.
that's it. So that's a proof. So whatever we have discussed in the class, it is just based on the correct accent. So whenever you read, just pay attention to that and try to improve the style of your reading. Once you're comfortable doing that, not only in the accent training classes, I told even in mathematics, when your teacher asks to read the word problem, trying to bring the correct accent. When your science teacher asks you to read the text, use the right accent. Literature, right accent. So whenever you use English, whenever you read English, just apply the right accent, and you know what are the tips to be followed, what are the things to be taken care of. Then what is stopping you from using it? Okay, so that should be taken care of very much. Okay, and then now this was about a story narration. The story should be narrated with the right expression. What about a poem? Gauri, are you not able to unmute? Unmute your audio. Is there any problem with your audio? Yes, you're not able to unmute?
After a long time, he is joining to the class.
Yes, Gauri Nandana. Yeah, Gauri Nandana used to join. Gauri Nanda is not there. Okay, anyway. And you saw how the word...
Henry told he when...
Okay, you use the wrong pronoun, right? Okay, it's okay. Adi, not Adi. The words like D-A-Y. You heard how the native speaker pronounces the word? It's day, one day, right? It's not, how do we pronounce one day, right? So it's not day, it's day, one day. So what day is today? What day is today?
Wednesday.
Today is not Wednesday. Today is Friday.
Today is Tuesday.
What day is tomorrow?
Saturday.
Tomorrow is Saturday. Yes.
Ma'am, I just guessed. It was correct.
Okay. Got it. So, how many of you have taken part in the recitation competition? How many of you have taken part in the English recitation competition?
Trinity?
No, recitation. Sarah. Okay, Sarah, let me ask you, are poems read exactly the way how we read stories?
No, ma'am.
No. What's the difference? What are the things to be taken care when you recite a poem?
When you recite a poem, you
do you sing it?
No, we don't sing it.
No singing. So that has to be taken care of. No singing.
Poems, we sing songs.
Yes. And of course, the nursery rhymes, action songs, when you were in KG classes, those things used to be sung, but not the poems. And before that, I would like to just a minute, Sarah, hold on.
Yes, ma'am, we should not sing. We should say in words.
Now, listen, this is a word. How do you pronounce this word? Sarah, how are you pronouncing it?
I am.
Poem.
Poem. Okay. Sarah pronounced it as poem and Adidev pronounced it as poem. And let me tell you, children, this word has got 2 syllables. Okay. And this syllable has to be stressed, that po. Okay. It's po. Starting with the plosive pa. And here, this M is pronounced with the schwa, that is So, the word should be pronounced as poem. It's not poem or poem. Okay, both these pronunciations are wrong. The word's exact pronunciation is poem. It's not poem. 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 Don't break it as a single word. It's not poem. I have heard many students pronouncing the word as poem. It's not poem actually. It's poem.
Poem.
Yes, poem. Poem. You might find it very strange because certain pronunciation which you have been pronouncing it in a different way till now, one fine day you are coming to know that the pronunciation is wrong and a totally different strange pronunciation is brought in front of you, but you have to be ready to correct it.
My mom said
have,
ma'am, last year.
Last year?
Last year I learned that it was not pronounced as poem and I forgot about it. Now I remembered it.
Yes, now you remember. So once you get a corrected thing or once you are corrected by someone, just make sure that you don't repeat the mistake. That should be a correction forever. Do you know something? When I used to learn grammar, I used to pronounce the word as prepositions. You know what are prepositions? On, in, under, above, between. Yes, prepositions, conjunctions. So I used to pronounce the word as prepositions. Then later on, when I was in my college, I got to understand that the correct pronunciation is not prepositions, it is prepositions. Prepositions, yes.
Ma'am, I know that. I know that.
Preposition is the correct perfect pronunciation. And from that day onwards, I started pronouncing the word as preposition. And whenever I used to come across that word, I used to remember the correction. So that should be applied to you. And listen, children, now the pronunciation, regarding the poem. If you have confusion or doubt regarding this pronunciation, normally what do you do? How do you check the pronunciation of a word?
Ma'am, when you pronounce, it's not pronounce, it's pronounce.
No, it's pronounce. Pronounce and pronunciation. Okay, Eva. You pronounce a word. You pronounce a word and then you learn the pronunciation. That is a difference. Okay. You pronounce a word.
I tell that you spell it pronounce, not
no, you don't say it pronounce. It is pronounce. Yes. Pronounce and pronunciation. Pronounce is the verb form. Pronunciation is the noun form. Okay. And the spelling, there is a spelling difference also. Okay. So I was talking about, yes. When you have confusion regarding the pronunciation of any word, what do you normally do? Sarah?
We correct it.
How do you learn the correct pronunciation? Yes.
We might check in some.
Where do you check?
Yeah, we check. We remember if we have ever heard the pronunciation of this word. Or we just simply ask somebody.
Ask somebody who knows, right? Sapna, what do you do?
I search it in Google or Chrome.
Exactly. Yes, that is a shortcut method. Okay. Checking in the Google.
Ma'am, first, before I used Google, when I have a doubt in pronunciation, I will try to do more pronunciation that I know and try to get the correct
See, whatever word pronunciation like confusion or doubt you have got, you can just type it in the Google pronunciation. Just take the Google pronunciation, or you have to go for something very particular, British pronunciation. Okay. Or even if you have got a dictionary, you will be able to get the pronunciation only if you know the phonetics. Without knowing the phonetics, you won't be able to. Yes, Anvi, I know. I'm going to wind up the session. So you check for the British pronunciation. So today itself, you check for POEM and look and observe or just check how is the word pronounced in British English. Because when you type, just a moment, when you type the word in Google, you will get three basic pronunciation, three basic accents like British, American and Indian English. So just go for British pronunciation and check what is the pronunciation of the word POEM. So that's all for today.
Ma'am, dictionary is not useful because we no need the spellings of it. We need the pronunciation. So it's
yes.
not saying the pronunciation.
Yes, if you know the transcription, like phonetic transcription, then you will be able to get the pronunciation. But everybody won't be knowing. Okay, then bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes.